My name is Anna Mlasowsky. I'm the artist in residence during the month of April at the studio of the Corning Museum of Glass. The way I came to glass is that I saw it as a tourist in a glass blowing studio up in Norway when I was on holidays. I was 18 and I did live in Norway for a year. And I just went back to the studio 4 days in a row and spent every day there, just watched them blow glass. And I started as a glass blower. That's what I was mainly interested in the beginning, and kind of moved from there to where I am now. For my residency at the studio at the Corning Museum of Glass, I focused on two different things. One piece that I'm making is a big installation where I'm working with sound. The way I do it is that I have a speaker that a metal plate gets attached to. And that speaker is connected to my computer, where I have a program that creates different frequencies. So once I put those frequencies through the speaker, it vibrates the metal plate, and on specific frequencies that are material inherent and dependent on size and shape and thickness of that metal plate, it would produce different patterns. And those patterns relate to the frequency. As higher the frequency go, as more complex they get. And instead, usually you use to make these patterns, you use sand or salt to sprinkle on the metal plate, which would then get vibrated into these lines. I use glass powder, which makes it possible for me to just put them in the kiln afterwards and fire them into these solid shapes. That is something that I've worked on a lot. I've made about 120 patterns here. My interest in sound basically comes from that I have a weird condition where I have no background noise. Everything I hear is equally loud. When there are a lot of people around, I just see them move their lips, but I can't hear anything because there's so much background noise that it doesn't make any difference anymore. I'm trying to visualize sound and turn it into a solid shape so that we can experience it more than just through its audibility. The other focus I had was using that residency to make experiments towards new pieces. So I worked on figuring out the paper marbling, which was a very hard process, but I come to a point where it works pretty well and I'm very happy with the results I'm getting. It's just you have to find your own way of using something. So what I do is that I sandblast the sheets of glass so they get a little gritty on the surface, and that makes it possible for the paint to adhere, which is very simple in the end, but you first have to kind of go through a long process to figure that out. The studio here at the museum has just very good equipment, and basically anything I want to make, I can make. Having all these technicians, having all that support and help, having so many kilns available, having so much material available, just makes it for me much easier. I have so much access, I can basically work here all day, all weekend. There's no limits to it. And I feel like a princess, you know, everything I ask for gets delivered right to my door, and I can just, I can use it. I have no complaints, you know, it's just great.